75 million naira.
Well, I said it, the analogy of what happened yesterday can be likened to what we used to read about Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. So that is just what happened yesterday on the floor of the house. And I've said it several times. The motivation. It doesn't matter the motivation of what led Abductions to unveil that the budget padding happened. That was just the fact. They padded the budget. And of course, even the release by Bayo Manga, President Tinubu's media advisor, affirmed that the president, in the release, he affirmed that the president allowed 1.2 trillion added to the budget to pass by because he wanted to maintain cordiality. What is that telling you? It's telling us as Nigerians and as citizens of this country that budget padding has become instrumentalized in our budget process and appropriation process, and of course in passing appropriation bill into budget, meaning that we legitimacy to deliberate stealing. What we are witnessing is tantamount to a group of people that sit together to kidnap our country. I'm saying this because with one sense of responsibility, because the so-called constituency project they claim to be funding is illegal, is immoral, is a platform for stealing, and platform for enslaving their constituents and the people. Enslave them in this. When they get this money through the contractor that they always appointed by themselves, they got the kickback and then use the money to go and buy instruments and distribute to their people in order to accept to vote for them. So it's even used for vote buying. That is what I'm telling us as Nigerians today. It's illegal. There's no law capturing constituency project. Legislators anywhere in the world, they don't execute projects. That is the responsibility and the jurisdiction of the executive.
But according to Senator Opeyemi, the money every time it's time for them to prepare budget, they all come up with their own project for their own district, and of course they said that some of them come up with more things that will actually add up to at least 500 million naira.
That is baladash. It's still justifying stealing, thieving. That is what they are justifying. What is the reason for existence of local government? If they have to be drilling borehole, within the purview covered by local government administration intervention. What is the essence of that? Nigeria has 3 tiers of government: the central government, the state government, and of course the local government. What they are doing is ensuring that local government does not function. Why, if they want to do it, why don't they democratize distribution of national wealth to the extent that, okay, local government will do this, and they sit down with the federal government to send the money to the local government as part of local government revenue. But because they know that they will have control over who is the contractor that will execute a certain project. That is why they do this, and we know all this. Nobody should come here and deceive Nigeria. We have allowed this to happen. Have you heard that the United States Congress is sitting on a constituency project and every other thing? These are liars. They don't mean well for Nigeria. That is what I'm telling you. There's nothing that justifies execution of projects by legislator anywhere in the world. Legislator anywhere in the world has 3 responsibilities. The responsibility to represent, 1. The responsibility to oversee for oversight, and of course the cardinal responsibility to make law. Those are the 3 functions of legislators, and not to continue to execute project. President will send an appropriation bill, you will add your own, you will pad it, you will introduce projects that you are not in control of the revenue that is coming, and you will begin to put projects that are not necessary, buy stoves for people. How is that what the people need in a federal budget? State will still have budget. What will the state budget cover? And at the local government level, in their own little way, they have what they call budget too. So all this is because Nigerians are very, very docile. And of course, it has been said, even before now by JP Quran, the community, in fact, is the common fate of the indolence to have their right taken away by the active. The condition upon which God has given liberty to man is eternal vigilance. Nigerians are not vigilant people. We don't hold our leaders to account. They just do what you like, recklessly. Look at the revelation from Jabibe yesterday. It's because he didn't get enough fund himself. And they know where this fund is going. And you could see it even in Lagos recently, where the so-called former speaker, Jabi Adila, is building hospital and everything, name after him and everything. Who does that? With government money. With the so-called constituency project money. These are shenanigans they do with Nigerian money. Should we even be hearing this at this particular material period of austerity in the country, where people are under grave undertaking to take out and they cannot even access 1 meal per day? Is this what we should be doing? The suspension, what happened yesterday, I don't want to talk about the motivation of what led Abdul Ningi to that revelation. But the fact is that Abdul Ningi has discharged, in quote, heroic duty. He didn't deserve that. If you want to be transparent, why didn't you set up, even for the sake of due process, why didn't you set up panel to investigate whether the allegation was true or not, rather than throwing it into your house? And when Karibe was talking, they wanted to silence him. I even heard that the Senate president muted his mic in order to prevent further revelation of how they are sharing Nigerian money, impoverishing people, and of course pretending to be governance. And I've said it repeatedly. What is going on in governance, the so-called governance in this country, is 24/7 looting. That is what they know how to do. 24 hours, 7 days in a week, 52 weeks in a year. That is what is going on in Nigeria.
But Mr.
Looting of the patrimony of Nigeria through one bogus arrangement that they call constituency projects and everything. And the allegation of Ningi yesterday, why didn't Akpabio answer? How much is Akpabio earning?
That's what I want to ask.
In the country you don't know, you know how much the president is earning? The president in Nigeria is earning 1.39.
So should the senators now know how much the Senate president is earning?
Is that supposed to be what is happening? If a senator doesn't know, a senator does not know what Senate president is. What is the fate of a man on the street? A senator, 100, they are just 109. They don't know what their Senate president is earning. Is that a transparent government? Is that an accountable government? Why should everything be in opaque in Nigeria? You can't track anything. They have perfected the act of deceiving Nigeria, looting Nigeria, and decimating Nigeria to the level that we have become a tragic comedy in the eyes of civilized world. Because what happened in Nigeria can never be taken as part of democracy in the first instance. What we have perfected as an act of democracy is criminocracy that control to looting, and of course it doesn't shock Nigeria again. Nigerians don't bother about who governs them, how they govern them, and what transpired. Those are problems we are facing. And if they know that people will not take this, they will not do it.
Okay,
It has been in existence for a long time, and now it's even getting worse. To the extent that what they are saying now is that your loot, what like Garibe when he was talking that he got 75 million and others are getting it. What that means is that your loot is bigger than mine. Simplicity.
well, some people are of the opinion that we are having this issue because the Senate rushed to pass the budget.
Why the rush in the first place? Even if they take 1 year to do it, they will still doctor the budget. That's what I'm telling you. That they are used to it, and they are used to the silence of Nigeria in the affairs of their country. They are used to the fact that Nigerians has no environment and instrument and even intention and will to hold them to account. That is why they do what they are doing. They are used to the fact that it's the government here is you rub my back, I rub your back. That the president, no matter what they do, will assent to it. That is the case. That is the case. It's a government that the corrupt is aiding the corrupt, and the people keep on suffering, and they ask Nigerians to be making sacrifice. Nigerians don't need constituency projects. They should learn how to hold their local government accountable for drilling ball. Which of their constituency projects has been working? The report from the monitoring and evaluation of this project affirmed that nearly 85% of the so-called project of the construction are never completed, and where they are completed, they never work beyond 3 months. Even when a local road is built with constituency, that road fails within the first 6 months. So that should tell you the waste that this Congress of lawmakers, the damage they are doing to Nigeria, the Nigerian economy, and of course the Nigerian people and the Nigerian development.
Well, according to Senator Opeyemi, this was all about the Senate President Akpabio, and according to him, it was tantamount to a coup.
Which coup? Opeyemi is just feeding his own belly. That is what he's saying. What is tantamount to coup? To the extent that it became divisive in the house, to the extent he's talking like a cyber. Is it not the same Akpabio that appointed him as Senate leader? So it's all this high service of the things that is going on and everything. What is patriotic about what Opeyemi was saying? Did he address the issue? Is it not true that those things, if you look at the budget, of course, you will see Olamileko, Senator, alluded to the fact that even in the so-called principal's budget that was approved, 9 agencies were not there. These agencies are their cash cows. They think we don't know. They go for the so-called oversight function and begin to put pressure on head of agencies and ministry and department to give them money. How is that going to translate to development? What Opeyemi was saying was another baladash. He was divisive by categorizing senator as northern and claiming that he's talking as a southern senator. Of what value? The headship of Akpabio in the National Assembly to his people in Akwa Ibom or to any other southerners. Is that what we should be talking today? Divisive policy in order to get your own self-interest protected. Is that what we should be doing with national platform?
The Senate, the student, the federal government has postponed the launch of the Nigerian student loan scheme indefinitely, and that's despite the increase of their school fees. What do you think about this?
Am I surprised? No. When you have policy that is not thought through, well thought through, it ends in this type of game playing. So what does it mean? Okay, he was beating his chest. The president was beating his chest about 2 months ago that is part of the cushion effect of what is going on. Now he's suspended indefinitely. Because they have run themselves, run the economy down with obnoxious policy that didn't work out and that will never work out. That is the situation and the issue. It's not well planned. Do you know how much it takes a student to feed today? Textbooks and workbooks have skyrocketed in prices. Not to talk of school fees in the universities and everything. Many poor people can no longer send their children, they have withdrawn. So with their education wait indefinitely, happen increase the school fees. Look, I have my reservation about this government and its policies. And I know in intent and in purpose, they don't mean well. And they are not well thought through. That is just the fact. Okay, when must you even plan in education inaccessible? Why should you be thinking of student loan? Why, if you know that Nigerian students are going through fees, why don't you take off the school fees they are paying for a certain period of time? If that's what you want to do. So I know this deceptive policy. I think I understand them better than those who think they are wiser and they are executing them. So I never trusted the implementation or believed in the implementation because it's not sustainable. More so that in an economy where less than 20% of graduates that pass out get employed, and you are saying that they will continue to they will pay back the loan 2 years after graduation. Where are they going to get it? And it's a revolving loan. So where is it going to happen? It's a project that died before delivery. So it's not possible and it's not workable. And they notice. So
what would be the fate of the students because their fees were increased and they were putting their hope on this student loan?
Well, the hardship continue. I've told us that we should hold people accountable for their work. When somebody said they will give you bread, you need to ask him questions. Nigerians don't ask questions. You will ask them first. Are you going to buy it or you have bakery where you are making it? If you have bakery, then I can believe you. If you have enough money to buy it, I can believe you. If you have bought for others before, I can believe you. But if all these are not in the affirmative, and without you, and I will not believe you. So Nigerians they don't ask questions. They will say, what does that mean? Is that going to bring food on your table? I will bring fuel down, the fuel price down. He made commitment to it. Has he done that? Things will get better. He made allusion to that during campaign and he said he has planned well. Is it happening today? So the problem is Nigerian. Every people deserve the type of leaders they get. As long as we continue to be intimidated by situations and conditions, we have found ourselves to the extent we become impotent in holding our leaders accountable. The tragic stories will continue.
Let's move away from that and lastly talk about this one. A suit instituted by a coalition of northern groups seeking the exit of Igbos in the southeast out of Nigeria has been struck out by the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja. The group argued that allowing the Igbos to cede would end violence and destruction in the southeast.
That is rubbish suit in the first place. What is the interest of northern youth in asking the Igbos to get out of Nigeria, to allow them to go out of Nigeria? Do they love the Igbos more than themselves? I think these people are noisemakers and should not be entertained. We have a nation that has broken down. It's not only Igbos that want to leave Nigeria. The people, all of them, the poor people, the people that have been put under pressure that has no tribe want to leave Nigeria and they are leaving. And that is why we have the concept of Kappa today. So we should all put pressure on government to create atmosphere for livable environment that is just, that is fair, that is honest to each and every Nigerian. That is what we want. A common Nigeria that is built on social justice, that is built on equity and fair play. And not that someone want to leave Nigeria and we should help, the law should help us to push them out. So I think it's arrogant. The suit was arrogant. The suit was ridiculous. The suit was inconsiderate, and the suit was very, very unpatriotic and unfair to other people of Nigeria by those who initiated such empty suit.
Alright, let's end this on the lighter note with Mr. and Mrs. this morning, and the first person speaking is Mrs. Mrs. says, I said we need to get rid of pests and rodents in the house. You said I should spend the extra money remaining from the housekeeping allowance. Now, what do you call that? Mr. says security votes.
Alright, to a security vote, you need to get rid of rodents. One, even if you buy food, rodents can be far from your food, and not only that, it can cause you health damage to the extent that you continue, the money you are making, you continue to spend it on treating Lassa fever or other dangerous infection that will come from rodents. But albeit, if you look at it, well, maybe you should just add that is health and security vote. So,
so should that be removed from the housekeeping money, or should there be a different budget for that one?
Well, security vote is what you hardly account for. The husband should make provision for that without taking from the one that is meant for statutory feeding and, of course, housekeeping allowances.
Madam, or do you think Madam added the budget?
Well, even the budget, you cannot, Nigerians are going through a lot now. There's limit to which families can pack budget now. Because the man you are packing the budget is not even providing enough in the first place. So the head of the house has not enough. So if you pack, except if you pack from your pocket. So it's very difficult life that average Nigerian family is living. But then, that does not mean we should tolerate rodent at this particular time. Rodent can be so dangerous to our health, and of course for our well-being. And at the same time, the opportunity cost can get to a point where we say whether we will even kill the rodent to eat and roast the rodent along with it, because meat is expensive too. So you have to look at everything broadly and take your own informed decision based on what you have. But let us manage what we have, and of course kick rodents out of our families and out.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Guru, for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you.
Yes, do also like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can also visit our website www.vanguardninja.com to get more of our top stories. My name is Damlola Okunshaki. Have a lovely Wednesday.